My 33 male wife, 32 female, said her ex's name while we were having. My wife and I have been married for 4 years and have a 2-year-old child. Before getting married, we dated on and off for 3 years. Last night, as we were having, she mentioned her ex's name. She offered some strange explanation for why. She said that it is a common name, it is a pretty popular name, and that she must have heard it recently. I wasn't about to start a major fight with her at that point. It has subsequently made me concerned as to why she did it. For some context, this was a man she had been seeing for a few years before I met her. They met in college and were in a committed relationship for a while. When I met her, they had split up and thought they would be better off as friends. They had been friends for years before they started dating. We began dating, but he stayed in the picture. He was her closest friend first and foremost, and I unwillingly agreed to it for her sake. After a few months, I put my foot down, stating that it is too unpleasant for me. There was some pushback, but she took a step back from him. She was with him every time we split up. We eventually reconciled and were married. He evidently didn't realize this and abruptly quit speaking to her. She was distraught, which should have been a warning sign. We chatted about it, and she was pleased that she had picked me. Now that this has occurred, I'm inclined to check to see whether she has reconnected with him. I know she checked in on his social media since I saw the laptop searches. She has no idea that I am aware of this. I don't believe she cheat, but this man was always out of the ordinary for her. Do I just confront her? Do I begin looking through her phone? Is it just me, or am I being paranoid? Story 2. My BF nearly cheated while under the influence of drugs and now wants an open relationship. I feel trapped. My partner, 25 male, and I, 25 female, have been dating for 3 years and were friends for 1.5 years before that. We've been living together for 2 years. He visited a friend a few weeks ago. He's bi, so I don't mind whether it's a lady or a man. It's a female in this scenario. Let's refer to her as A. He knew her from university, but they hadn't spoken in a long time. She wished him happy B-Day on FB, and so it started. So one day he asked if it was all right with me if he went to visit her, and I said okay. He stated they'd drink and smoke pot, which was okay with me. My boyfriend is a regular user. My sole requirement is that he drive home sober. I wanted him to have a good time. I inquire how it's going a few hours into their meeting, and he says he won't be home till since he took X substance with her. I was taken aback. He grew raised with his mother, who is still an addict. He's highly sensitive to addiction, therefore we have guidelines regarding using hard drugs, such as safe space, careful consideration, infrequent use, and so on. Taking this substance with it was not in the plan, and after processing what he stated I became enraged. First, because of the way he stated it to me, as if it were no great issue. Second, he treated it as if it were a piece of candy, which is not the way to go in my opinion. We chatted afterwards, and I may have overreacted since he believed he was in a secure location when she presented it to him. He is unable to say no to narcotics. His logic made sense to me. After a few days, he tells me he has to tell me something. When he was with her and under the effect of X substance, he tried to hug/kiss her. She flatly refused. I broke the instant he told me. For the next hour, I was a gushing torrent of tears. I had been quite supportive of him in the preceding days since something had occurred with his mother. She attempted suicide, which I informed him about through text message, and he called an ambulance. Unfortunately, this is not uncommon. He felt bad since I was so helpful and polite to him. We went to therapy, which we had previously done, and he stated he felt smothered by all the regulations. The trouble is, he wants me to hold his hand since he can't stay on course on his own, but he also runs away from me because I make him feel confined. When he's with me, he doesn't feel free. He didn't do what he did with her because he wants her. He only wants to be liberated. Another issue is that I have a low libido. We don't have a lot of because of my meds, and I'm quite anxious about it. I frequently asked him if it's an issue, and he's always answered that isn't everything, that he loves me for who I am, and so on. On that, I had faith in him. We came up with the idea of me smoking pot again, so he doesn't feel like he's committing a crime every time he smokes. I'm aware that I've gotten monotonous. I smoked cannabis and tried with other substances when we first met. He instantly thought of me as this female insane, but wonderful crazy. But those memories disappeared. I've come to terms with my sober self. We also decided to take X drug jointly, the one he took with A, after discussing about it. That is exactly what we did. Being more open, relaxed, and conversational are recognized side effects. I wasn't feeling good because I kept wondering, is this how he was behaving with A? I was terrified and emotional. I asked him some questions, and the topic of an open relationship came up. We had it in the past but never used it. It was crucial to me to feel free, but after years of treatment, I learned a lot and no longer felt the need for it. My boyfriend constantly claimed that he didn't need it. So we've been in a monogamous relationship for about a year. I asked him if he wanted an open relationship again since I was feeling uneasy, and he answered yes. Since then, I've been thinking a lot, and the more I think about it, the more it hurts. I brought up the topic again yesterday, and he said that he probably watches too much porn. I began to have doubts about what he had stated in the past, such as not requiring a lot of, although he had assured me it was true at the time. It's only after that incident with it that he feels the need for greater independence. Another thing we agreed on is that he doesn't see her again until he's certain he can control himself. I knew as we were conversing that he doesn't want to put up any effort. Returning to an open relationship is a solution that will allow him to do anything he wants, so he doesn't have to keep his impulses in check when on medicines. He claims he loves me, and I know he does, but it now seems like a lie. What am I supposed to do now? I keep giving in to make him happy, but returning to an open relationship is just too much for me. I'm already shattered from what he did to A. I felt so certain of our connection. It was reduced to dust in a matter of weeks. It's painful to see this. He constantly told me that everything was great, and I trusted him. Maybe it was, but it isn't anymore. I'm completely entrapped. We're in love, but I can't keep giving in, can I? Every day, I feel worse. I'm at a loss on what to do. We've gone through so much, and now I'm considering suicide once again. Every time I think of us, I weep. I don't have any more energy. On Friday, we have an appointment with our therapist. I'm terrified it'll be over. Story 3. My sister's boyfriend is a cheating pathological liar, but she won't break up with him. The relationship between my sister, a 18 female, and this guy has been going on since the beginning of the year. B, 18 male. While telling her family about B for the first time, A noted that he had had a terrible upbringing, adopted from another country, lost all close family to OD. However, when we initially met him, much of what he stated about it didn't make any sense to us or our close family members. Since A said it was real, since B's mother had validated many of the facts, we decided to leave it at that point. However, recently B's mother has finally broken down and admitted that the life story that B has been presenting is a complete fabrication. He's even been given a name. In addition, it is discovered that he is having an affair with her. A is naturally depressed, and as a result, he ceases to visit him and refuses to attend classes. Then, late last night, A calls her mother to tell her that she is going out with some friends. It's late, and A hasn't returned any phone calls and is still not at home with us. In the end, she picks up the phone at 2 a.m. and lies about her location until she finally admits she is with B and does not want to end her relationship with him. That's all there is to it. What is the most effective way for me to support my sister? She makes me nervous because I don't trust him or his family, and I'm not certain that he won't hurt my sister any more than he has already. I also don't think he won't do anything to her that is physically harmful. Our mother has also threatened to force her out since she feels she has been deceived and lied to by the other family members. The fact that I've advised my mother that this is a bad idea doesn't help her resolve the situation.